Hey, what's up, Libra? You are watching your July 2018 forecast / reading by me, Camille of Millennial Tarot. I wanted to extend an apology for my not being able to be with you here during the month of June and kind of skipping over those readings. It was just too much of a hectic time inwardly and outwardly, and I just couldn't sit down to give you guys a funky reading. So I decided to take the month off and just return back here in July with your reading. Before we get into it, I just wanted to also mention that I'm still doing my $10 readings for any question you want. I give you a personal video link. We get into what's going on with your life. Videos are anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes. And we're going to be having some interesting lighting today, so I don't know what's going on, but when I do this, it gets brighter. And then when I do this, I turn into a phantom. But it's okay, we're going to work with it. The messages are going to come through no matter what's happening with my camera. So without further ado, let's get into it. 3-card spread, Rider-Waite Tarot deck for you, Libra, July 2018. Ooh, this feels so good. I'm going to do it one more time. Okay. Move that out the way. Whoop, whoop, whoa. Energy flowing, moving the cards about. Okay, so what we pulled for you, Libra, is coming into this reading. Energy setting off the reading with the 9 of Wands. There I am. And then we move into a present position of the King of Cups. And then we have an outcome or ending position of the Ace of Wands. So what I see here is that a lot of Librans are stuck in this place of high anxiety, of feeling rigid, of feeling like you can't let anyone or anything in, of feeling closed off to the universe because the universe isn't giving you necessarily what you want. And for a lot of people, and this is a general reading, but for a lot of people, it could be a love situation. So the reason I say that is because we have the King of Cups coming in here to clear it up for you. But, you know, a love situation, but it could also be a situation with your job, a situation with your camera, like me. No, a situation where you're just feeling anxious over how far you've come and why you haven't finished your journey yet. Anxious over the fact that, you know, things aren't necessarily working out in your favor. So when we look at the 9 of Wands, we see someone who is so guarded, so worried that someone's going to come and steal his wands or just come up to him. And so what we do when we're scared, when we're anxious, when we collapse in on ourselves, is that it becomes impossible to be open to any new thing that can come in. So what I see happening in July is that there's a little bit of a loosening around this rigidity. And for a lot of Librans, it has to do with the fact that you don't feel like you can be yourself around people. You don't feel like you can be yourself at your job. You don't feel like you can be yourself in the relationships that you are in, or you don't feel like you can be yourself when you're looking for a relationship. You know, you just feel very closed in on yourself. And the reason you may feel this way, like you're feeling rigid and not necessarily open and expressive with who you are and who you know yourself to be, is that, you know, someone or something came around and made you feel like you were a little bit less than. And the journey of the Wands is always a journey of action. It's always a journey of courageousness and of passion and of fire. And then we see you here stalling right before the 10 of Wands, saying like, oh, I'm so close, I can get this, you know, but I'm just not feeling like it's going to come. I feel like I put in all this work. I feel like, you know, I really tried dating. I feel like I really put in a lot in my job. I feel like I really put a lot in this house and or these finances, and you're not seeing the universe open up for you, but it's because you are not opening up for the universe to give you things. So this is a deeply rigid type of place to be in, a deeply collapsing in on oneself type of place to be in. And then just generally anxiety over the journey, anxiety over where you are, frustration over the journey, and a little bit of shady characters around you. So kind of keeping an eye out, like this guy's maybe looking out for thieves. So it's kind of like a place where you just cannot trust where you are, who is around you, and what you have to offer. But then we see it being cleared up beautifully here in the month of July, which is the first half Cancer season. And I'm doing this in Cancer season. So we have here the King of Cups coming through. And the King of Cups providing that healing salve, providing that emotional maturity and that emotional blanket and comfort for this 9 of Wands person who is so rigid, who is so concerned, who is so anxious, and who is so, depressed over where they are in their journey, how it's not happening quick enough. The 9 of Wands being a Wands card, we talk about upward mobility and mobility in general, and that it being so close to the 10, it's like you're so close to where you want to be, but you're just not seeing it quick enough. You're not seeing it happen in the specific way that you want, and so you're just kind of like, I wonder if this is for me. I wonder if I'm good enough. Is it ever going to come? And you're just so anxious, and you're just like a rock. So what I love about the King of Cups is he stands solid on his slab of water, on his slab of concrete rather, going through, a little bit tumultuous ways, but he remains calm, and he remains focused on some distance that we can't see in the card, but we are to assume that that is where he wants to go, and that's where he's going calmly, and he has authority of self, and he's getting there with emotional maturity and with emotional fortitude, just to keep on keeping on. So that's the energy, but specifically, it could be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, man energy coming in for you ladies or you men who are looking for that type of partner. So this is someone who's going to be emotionally receptive. This is going to be someone who's more yin than yang, more femme than masculine. But that's still a beautiful combination because then we get the combo of, both energies, feminine and masculine. So someone who's going to be more mothering, someone who is going to be more emotionally in tune, someone who is very into metaphysics. Water is inherently and intrinsically psychic type of card and very intuitive in that way. So really picking up and reading a room. So people who are dating, you haven't been finding that type of person. You've been instead dating a lot of people who are reflecting this closed off nature. I speak about dating a lot because it's like 99% of people who are ever watching a tarot video, if it's not money, it's relationships. So dating is one facet of that. So that's, just for one example, you could be going out there and being met with people who are not emotionally available. They're closed off like this, and then you become closed off like that, and then you start to wonder, is there anyone for me? Am I even available? What's going on? And then we have the King of Cups coming in here, being a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer energy, or just imbuing those water traits, to say, all the BS that you've been going through with these lesser people, because we think about how it's a King of Cups and not like, not a court card, not one of the lesser cards, a king representing a more mature masculine figure. So this is a person coming in, a real big deal person. This isn't like the Knight of Cups who's offering you a thing. You're kind of like, okay, well maybe. Or like the Page of Cups who's a little bit slippery. This is the King of Cups who knows what he wants and is coming in your direction. It could be for any type of love relationship, male or female. What this also says, just metaphysically, is that you're finding a place in July where all the consternation, all the focus, all the deep rigidity and anxiety that you have been feeling as you move towards your dreams, whatever that dream may be, is going to be loosened up, because Cancer season in July is going to give you a lot to think about. It's going to give you a lot to chew on. And it's going to give you a lot of breakthroughs. So the King of Cups also just represents emotional stability, emotional healing coming for you in this month of July, whether it be from a person or whether it just happening upon divine coincidence. And we speak about that here with the Ace of Wands being kind of the universe rushing in with something. The Nine of Wands with the Ten of Cups, it's a change of energy. It's a flip of energy. Just in general, a lot of Libras are going through a time where they just don't feel like they can be. They feel a little bit trapped in their surroundings as well. Like he's kind of trapped here and kind of has to stay here, and he's like holding on. So it could be holding on to a past, holding on to an idea, holding on to a job, holding on to something where you're not fully being who you could be. And then July sees you, whether it through a person, whether it through divine intervention, whether it through your own study with astrology or tarot cards or any type of spiritual pursuit. Water is very spiritual. We see that loosening up for you in July. So what I want you to know, and what I know for you, is that to the extent that you have been feeling like you can't be yourself and like you can't open up, let July show you that you can, because when you do, the universe comes in. And the universe comes in to give you this wand. And then we talk about here, the Nine of Wands being so close to the Ten of Wands. So this is a deeply karmic month. And the Ten of Wands is a card of success, but it's a card of having to work so hard for that success, and now you're there. Kind of call it the burden of success. And the burden of success is always all the small, menial, hard things that we have to do in order to get there, and then we get the thing. And here is the universe giving you that thing, giving you that 10th wand. But then very plainly, the Ace of Wands represent, the beginning of a new adventure. So here you are feeling stuck, feeling like you can't move, feeling like, where is my happy ending? And then we have the beautiful King of Cups energy coming to you through a person, through a situation, through your own emotional healing. And from that, you get your redo, you get your start over, or you get your confidence, you get the fuel, you get the gasoline to keep going. And what is happening here, Libra, and what is it, it's occurring to me to say, is that you're very close. You're very close. And when we get very close to something and we're like, wow, we kind of see it, we kind of feel it, we're kind of doing this, we're putting money aside, we're dating, we're working on our established bonds, our relationships, we're working on getting the job, we're working on doing this. And then, you get so excited about the process of actually doing it and getting closer to it, and then we don't see it happen. That's when we tend to give up. And that's also when the universe tends to throw us a little curveball to say, do you actually really want this? Are you actually truly committed? Are you actually going to do this? It always gets a little bit harder right before we get the thing. So this is you in the recent past, the energies that are swirling around you, that are setting off the reading, giving up a little bit and being so close to the end, being so close to the 10, being so anxious and rigid, giving up almost on yourself, and then when you do that, you give the universe permission to give up on you. So all these energies that you feel in yourself are being reflected back to you in your actual surroundings and in your actual life. So don't give up, because when we do give up, then we just block all of this and we just stay here, right? But when we keep going, when we believe that something's going to happen in July, a person's going to come through, a situation's going to come through for you, a divine intervention's going to come through, or an idea or a belief or something that you can hold on to get you moving just a little bit until August, then this is what comes for you. And the Ace of Wands is a lovely energy because it's the beginning of a journey. So you are starting something as you are ending this. It's the end of the try era and more in the sit and allow and let things come in era. So if you've been working hard or really trying, don't stop. Don't let that be in vain. Don't let all your efforts have been worth nothing just because you're not seeing it quick enough. Virgo was also getting the same energy. It's also just generally that energy is going around, and I think these 2 eclipses in July and all the retrograde planets in July may have people feeling like it's never going to come, and then conversely have people feeling like, oh, something really big and fated is going to be happening. So July is a huge month for just holding on and waiting to see what is possible for you and to not give up on whatever pursuit you've been trying for, because the universe is going to grant you that 10th wand, that success, that mojo to get through the rest of whatever you have to do to get the man, to get the job, to get the woman, to get the emotional stability. The universe is coming in here at the very end to grant you that. So, Libra, that has been your reading. Of course, if you need a more personal reading for your specific situation, you can reach out to me. I'm leaving my email and everything below. But until then, just rest and allow and know that it's coming in. Know that the more anxious and the more grasping on to outcomes that you become, the more the outcome kind of gets pushed away. So I want you to rest and allow. I want you to be the King of Cups. I want you to meet the King of Cups. I want you to marry the King of Cups. I want you to kiss the King of Cups. Whoever the King of Cups energy is for you, be it a person or a situation or a state of mind, lean into this, especially during Cancer season. Cancer is always here to teach us how to heal. Cardinal water energy, really leading with emotions and leading with that purity of heart, and knowing that things are going to come for you, because we already see here the universe is ready to give it to you. You just got to get through this phase. You just got to get through it. So I hope that you have enjoyed this. If I see you in the interim for a personal reading, that's awesome. But if I don't, I will see you in August. And until then, I hope you have a fabulous month of July. Do not give up. You're very close. All right. I'll see you later.